Hey guys, so today I want to talk about simplicity. Um, I'll show you. I made a whiteboard, little thing that's gonna stay here, and you won't see it because it's mirrored, but it's my good day formula. So if any of you ever seen any of Alex Hormozy's videos, you'll know that he has a good day formula, which is something along the lines of work out with someone I love or work out with friends, um, write something, and then something else. But basically, the idea is if you add too much complexity to your day, then you're probably not going to get what you need to get done. And by making it simple to succeed, you set yourself up for extreme success and consistency. And I'm one of those people that like is really bad at that. Um, I get distracted really easily with stupid tasks, and I don't know if that's just a me thing or if that's an everybody thing, but basically, I've tried many things. I've tried writing out a to-do list the day before, prioritizing it using like Eisenhower matrix, like urgent and important, not urgent, important, urgent, not important, not urgent, not important, etc. And I've tried doing things like that. I've tried not doing anything at all and see how I like make out. Set out my clothes the day before. I tried like using apps that help me get things done, and so far none of them have really worked. Some better than others, but none consistently. And so we're on to the next one, and this may be a temporary thing, temporary fix, or it may be like a longer term solution if it does work. But yeah, I'm trying to move towards something more simple. And so my good day formula is read something, work out, and do something hard. And if I do all three of those things, then it is a successful day. And the idea behind this is essentially if I do only those three things and do absolutely nothing else, then I will still be moving forward. Because the idea, most of success is just not moving backwards, or at least not staying where you are. It's moving forward, whether it be 1%, 10%, 200% each day. And some days are going to be better than others, some days are going to be worse than others. But if you keep moving forward every day, it doesn't matter by how much, then you'll be successful. And in my brain, at least, when I read, when I sit down to read, it's usually just starting that is the hardest part. Once I start reading, I usually keep reading because I actually quite enjoy reading. It's just hard to get myself to do it. And so once I read something, which is my one of my items is read something. If I sit down and read one page, I know that I'm likely to read more than one page if I have the time, and I'll probably choose to keep reading. And I've noticed in the past that reading puts me into a super mindful state. It brings out, I don't know, my critical thinking skills, I guess, and it puts me into just an overall mindful state, which causes me to make good decisions and work on things that matter and be disciplined instead of like being lazy or scrolling or anything like that. Like it brings me into a very, very good state of mind. And so I figure if one of my things is read something, if I sit down to read something, read a page, like technically that accomplishes it, then I'm very likely to keep reading. And by doing so, it will keep me mindful, which will not just make me do more things, but will make me a lot more likely to do other things besides just the three things listed there. And then the next one was workout. I averaged like 5,000 steps a day for like the last 6 months. And there was a couple months where I averaged 3,000 steps a day. And that's really bad. Like, that's really, really, really bad. Unhealthy. And I need to do better about moving around. And so, in one way, I figure if my good day formula, part of it is to work out, then that'll keep me moving. Because at its worst, if I go for a 10-minute walk and I consider that a workout, which I really don't, but if I did, then I'd be moving my body. And so if I'm moving every day, that's important. That'll get my steps in, it'll get moving. But the bigger thing with that is just physical fitness versus mental fitness and whatever, like the aspects of your life. You want good health, and then you, of course, want wealth, and then you want relationships. And so it's like, well, I should do a good job at those. But yeah, the workout thing was just more of a personal. I love working out, and I think that working out's really good for you. I need to do a lot of like physical therapy, mobility work because I have a lot of muscle imbalances and a couple like joint issues I've been having, and so that kind of counts towards it. And then my third good day formula item, which I recommend if you do this for yourself, don't do more than three. You can do less than three. I would do more than one, so either two or three. But I definitely recommend doing three. Seems to be the best one. Humans are can focus on three things, but any more than that, it starts to cause problems. But if you do, the final one is do something hard. And the only reason to have this is you could consider that working out is hard. But what I mean by do something hard is something that has some sort of mental resistance associated with it. And for me, I've always kind of enjoyed working out, and so it's not like a lot of mental resistance. Like, yeah, some workouts may be harder than others, but when I say do something hard, I mean something at which I'm fighting against myself to do. Good example would be like an ice bath. Like, I find excuses to not do an ice bath. Like, I try and fight against myself to do so. And so if I just do one thing a day, I'm sure there's multiple things each day that cause that, but if I just find one thing a day that I'm resisting doing, then this will force me to exercise my discipline muscle, which is a kind of a whole different thing, but discipline is really a muscle. The more often you do hard things that you don't want to do, the easier it gets to do harder things that you really don't want to do. And over time, this turns you into an absolute machine because if you do enough things that suck, you kind of get comfortable being uncomfortable and you become a weapon because like you're not bound by discipline anymore. Like you can just do whatever and it makes you a lot more productive and you'll go a lot farther in life. And so I figure by reading something, it makes me mindful. And of course, reading's great. And I know that if I sit down to read something, I will probably keep reading because I quite enjoy reading. And if I work out, I will move around and I will, of course, get a good physique that I like and or like remain in good health. And workouts clear your mind a lot, so it allows you to focus on work. And if I do something hard, then that'll exercise my discipline muscle for the day. And hopefully, over time, if I repeat this day after day, the things that were originally really hard for me to do will become easy. And then I'll have to find something else to do. So, for example, if I do an ice bath every single day, after a few weeks, it's probably not going to be very hard to do an ice bath because I'm going to be used to it. I'm going to be comfortable with something that I was previously uncomfortable with. And then I'm going to go find something new. But I will probably keep ice baths in my routine, I guess. And so that's just the idea is good day formula is if I do all of those every day and I do nothing else, if I sit on the couch and be super lazy for the rest of the day, that should still get me ahead of everyone else. If I read something, if I go work out and I do something hard that day and I do nothing else, I will still be ahead of 99% of society. And the reason is because those things are very large indicators or variables that influence success and focus. And they're also trigger or gateway variables. And I guess best way to put it is like they say like marijuana is a gateway drug. You try marijuana, then you're more likely to try hard drugs. Kind of the same thing with this. Like if I read, I'm more likely to keep reading and read more and then enjoy reading. If I work out, then I'm more likely to be in good shape and then want to work out more. And I'm more likely to want to eat healthy because I'm working out. I'm more likely to take my supplements because I'm working out. I'm more likely to go to bed on time for recovery. Like all of this, it leads to other things. And then doing something hard just leads me to want to do harder things. Like if I'm taking an ice bath every day and it becomes easy, then having to do something hard makes originally hard things easy for me. So like you start doing this and I'm not working out, I'm not reading, and I hate ice baths. And then I start doing this every day, and that's the only three things I have to do that day. The rest of the day I could screw off. Then I end up reading 50 pages in a book. I end up mindful, so I end up doing some work, like actual work instead of laying around because I decide after reading that it's probably a better use of my time and I feel very at peace, and so I continue to work. And then I'll work out, and this will lead me to feel a good pump. It'll make me want to eat healthier because I don't want to waste my workouts. It'll make me want to get good rest, and I'll feel good for the rest of the day. And if I do something hard, like say we'll use the ice bath example, and I continue to do that day after day, in 3 weeks, I'll look back and be like, wow, this is so much easier than it used to be. And that is called growth. When you look back and think that you were like so young or naive or weak, that just means that you grew. And that's a good sign. Like sometimes I look back and I'm like, wow, that guy was an idiot. And it was me like 3 weeks ago. And that means that's good because that means I'm growing fast. If I think me 3 weeks ago was an idiot, or if me looking back 3 weeks ago, looking at the weight that I was lifting or the amount of time I spent in the ice bath or whatever was like, oh, that's terrible. That means that you're growing. And so people like hating on what they used to be is really just a sign of extreme growth. So yeah, I encourage you to try making a good day formula. Find three things that are the main variables that move you forward towards your goals and make it very broad. Like do something hard. It's not very specific. So I will always be able to find something to do that is hard. Workout could be a walk, could be stretching, could be lifting, could be running, could be anything. Workout, move your body would be a better way to put it, I guess. But I like lifting, so I put workout. And then read something. I could read a damn newspaper, right? Like read something. So you have to make it so easy. Like no thinking required. Read something. Well, I can do that. work out or move your body. Okay, I can do that. And then do something hard. Well, it's like it doesn't take a lot of thinking to think of something hard that you don't want to do. And so it makes it almost as easy as possible while retaining an 80-20 structure where these are the things that do 80% of your results. Like the other things that you could do during your day, like meditating or whatever, which I've never really gotten into meditating, so I can't really talk to that. So it's not a good example. But like anything else, it isn't going to move the ticker nearly as much as those three things will. And so find that for you, make a good day formula, and try it out and let me know what you guys think about it. But yeah, that's the daily update for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow.